Okay. I'm going to start. Today we'll talk about what is Maven, how we can set up a Maven project. So earlier we already have a dummy project set up. That's what dummy Git repository we set up. That's what you guys are using so far. We will use the same repository to start building the Java-based project using Maven setup. The project that we have is, what is the project we set up? Full stack training, right? Is that what we set up?
Yeah, full stack training. Yes.
Okay. So I will remove all these, Git files that I explained you for testing purpose. Okay. I'm just removing these sample files that we created. Okay. Both master develop changed. You might have changed. Let's see. So I told you to create your own branches, right? But you did not create your own branches and push your own custom branches. I don't see any of your branches here. You are using only master and develop to make changes. I told you not to touch master and develop, right?
Yes, actually I haven't made any changes in this one. I used another project and I did it in my local.
Okay, you did not push any changes to remote?
No, I did not.
Okay. Let me do that. Okay, for any of your work, don't touch master and develop branches. You need to use your own local branches. And you can push your own custom branches, but don't touch master and develop.
Okay.
Git checkout, develop. I'm removing all. I'm removing the remote branches. To do the remote branches, you can do like this, just a colon in front of the branch name, git push -v origin, just colon. This will remove the remote branch, not in your local branch. Be careful when you do this colon. So you need to be very careful what you do with the colon. Now, you can see it will remove. What the hell? Git read base, git status, git push, and just giving 2 minutes later and just cleaning up the branches. There we go. Okay, and we rebase everything.
Now, by using all these commands, you are cleaning the whole repository, right?
No, I don't remove the whole repository. I actually remove because by default master branch is available. That's why it's not happening. So I'm removing the only branch, not the whole repository. Now you can see here, I removed the remote develop branch. We can check out.
Yeah.
So whenever you do, you're doing only removing a certain particular branch.
Okay, you're cleaning the whhole repository.
No, I'm not cleaning the whole repository. I'm cleaning only the branches.
Okay.
So now you see here, the whole thing is
okay.
to remove master is the default branch. So I need to do some special settings to remove the master branch. So whenever we do, we are not deleting the whole repository. We are deleting only the specific branch. So now you see here, right, I've deleted only develop, local, and develop remote. Okay. So now let's start a new project from there. So now I'm creating a branch out of master, a fresh branch. Now you can see develop branch is created. Now let's look at, whatever this is, just ignore all these commits. Now we are going to create the actual project. So now what are the files? RM-up, sample, RM-up, user. I'm just removing the sample files that I did previously. Sample file. Okay. Now I should get that on another branch. Okay, I am correct now. So I corrected everything there. So now from develop branch, we are going to start new Java project. Now you see nothing is there except only empty Git repository. So now you need to install Eclipse. Eclipse is the much more adaptive tool to build Java-based applications. So it's an open source. I think you guys know how to install Eclipse, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, Arun, you also know. So you guys, I'm skipping how to install Eclipse. So because you know it, go and do it and ask me questions in case you have any problems with Eclipse. So now, once you have installed Eclipse, you get something like that.
Yeah. We do even have Windows.
Yeah, Arun, your mission is already having that. So, Ravali, you also go through, talk to Arun and get the Eclipse set up, and we ask me questions in case you have any problem.
Yeah.
So now, once you have an Eclipse, go here, new project. Maven project. Select here, in case you don't see that, we just type in, and that's how you get the project name here. Select the Maven project and which location you want to save the changes on your disk. So now, don't use the default. Eclipse will say this is not your location. The location that we are trying to do is at full stack training. So in case you make any changes, it will eventually save at this location. This is not our project location. So change the location wherever you want to install, wherever you want to save it. So now I'm going to OPT, and our project is full stack training. This one. So now the location of saving your project will be at OPT full stack
Can't
training.
hear your voice properly.
You're able to hear me now properly? Hello?
Yes, I can hear.
Okay.
Even I can hear.
Ravali, I think your voice is pretty slow all the time. You need to make corrective measures. Okay, full stack training, and then go to the next, and whatever default comes in, just keep it that way. And once you come here, you need to create, group ID, and this is part of the Maven. So now, you can give any name here. I'm saying here, full stack training. This is how your var file or jar file will be created. It's the name of the file that will be created by the Maven project. 1 minute, Arun is calling me. Hey, Abhishek, you are able to hear my voice?
Yes, I can hear. I don't have any problem.
Ravali, you are able to hear my voice?
Yeah, I'm able to hear your voice. Even I don't have any problem.
Yeah, now your voice is pretty good. What did you do?
I just kept one mic over my mouth.
Okay. So, Arun, you are able to hear? He called me and that, he's saying that he's not able to connect. Arun, can you drop and connect again? I'll wait for 1 minute for him. Are you able to hear me? Continue the session, so I will say. So full stack training is a group ID, that's the name, and the artifact ID also, you can keep the same. I'll show you where this will be reflected. Full stack training and the group ID, full stack training. And the package, once the var file or jar file is created, what should be the name you want? So I'm keeping full stack training, and this is a version number. I'll show you how this will impact the application setup. Once you have all these three set up, and click on finish.
So the group ID and artifact ID, you're just giving the project name, or does that change when we do any real-time project?
No, it won't change. This is like more of a naming convention. You can give your project name for group ID and artifact ID. Okay. So now once you create the Maven project, so now you see all these are automatically created by Eclipse, and out of which most important one is form.xml file. So if you look at the form.xml, you will see whatever the group ID that you created, artifactory ID, and what version you want. You can keep like this, or you want to change anything that you can change. Nothing is you need to be follow rule and create all these things. I'm saying something like this. And packaging. So generally, there is 2 types of packages available. Ideally, 3 types of packages are available. One is jar file. Jar file is pretty much like create a dependent jar file and use somewhere. And var file is something, it can be deployable on any application server. And some of the application servers like WebSphere, WebLogic, they use EAR file for deployment. Tomcat use var file package for deployment. So because we are using Tomcat, so that's why I'm creating the package as a var package. So, and if you see here, I'm just giving the name of the project full stack training, and dependencies, any dependency that we are going to add will come from maven.apache.org. This is the cloud-based centralized repository having every dependent jar file that you need. So when whatever you configure in the form.xml, that will be downloaded from maven.apache.maven. Just type in Google Maven repository. That's all you get. So here, you type in whatever the var file you want. You will get, let's say, if I type in Spring. So it will give me every damn file that containing the Spring. So from the Spring framework, Spring is built with so many different modules. So whatever the modules you are interested in, you can take those modules and add it to the application. So now, for example, I am saying Spring Boot. Spring Boot is the much more advanced version, which is the most recent version even in the Spring. So now in the Spring Boot, I am taking Spring Boot Starter. So, and then you will see a lot of versions available on the Spring Boot Starter, and you can see each file version when that was happened and what it is. So the most recent one is the July, and this is something here. I'm taking the latest one. So when you click on the most recent one, and you will get all these. I mean, this is Maven repository is built for all different types of competitors, Maven, Gradle, and all these things. So for us, our project, we are using Maven. So to do that, you just copy whatever given here. Copy and go into your form.xml and keep them in your dependencies. To build your project, you need Spring Boot. That's the meaning of dependencies. So now, it's only comments, so that's why I'm removing. So now this is your actual dependency. Yeah. So once you add, why it is complaining? Let's see dependency. I gotta see this. So now you see here it's complaining. Let's see what the complaint is. It should show me. There is a problem with the Maven dependency. Missing artifact boot. Spring Boot Starter. So when you get this kind of problems, so now go and click on full project and then right click, go to the Maven and do update project. Now you can see here, progress is going, Maven update project. Spring Boot Starter. Still, and it's still complaining because I guess because this project should be 1.7 version. Let's look at what is the Java version we are using. Libraries. Okay, this is 1.5. So once you install JDK 1.8, by default Eclipse is, because of the version that I am using, it is pointing to 1.5 JDK. Now I am pointing to my local installed version using properties. Right click, properties. And then you go here and then you can see here, build path, Java build path. Click on Java build path and libraries. You see here, the project is compiling based on JDK 1.5. Now I'm changing it to use 1.8. Add library and system library. And I already have 1.8 installed, so I'm pointing to 1.8. And then the previous one, whatever 1.5, I'm removing. And OK. Click on OK. Now your project starts builds on 1.8. So now let's see in the Maven. I mean, it might require some other dependency. We'll see. And then go to the Maven. Where is the Maven? What's that? Yeah, Maven. And the update project. Okay, it is still complaining. So that means there might be another dependency is missed for this. I'll try Spring Boot. Spring Boot, test starter, web starter. Probably this one also. So I am taking this, some other dependency, it might need it. What the hell? Missing artifact. Okay. We'll see. So now, once you have, we'll correct this problem. Actually, there is a problem, and that's why you're seeing all these red marks. So now,
is it because of the var that we have changed?
No, not because of the var. Var should not cause any problem. We'll see. We'll correct it. Okay. So there might be missing dependencies needed, but we'll correct one by one. So now here you see full stack training project is created. I'm going there. Okay, so now pom.xml. You need to go until pom.xml, wherever pom.xml is available. So now once you go here, you have to do mvn clean package. Now it should bring download all the dependents required to build this project. So when I'm doing Maven clean package, it is failing. I mean, whatever you see on the other side, we are seeing the same thing here. Let's do. I have the dependencies configured in on one of my other projects. I'll check and. Java, no, pom.xml. Shows DB main.
Maven clean compile.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm taking the something like this. So it requires a parent to run the Spring Boot. So that might be I missed. So whatever the configuration I did in another project, that's a successful configuration. That's why I'm copying the same thing. So I'm taking the Spring Boot starter. I mean, this is all the different packages that you can use. I'm taking the parent, Spring Boot starter parent, and then I'm starting the web projects also. Okay, now I'll take the other dependency. These are all different dependencies you can, it will be downloaded from only Maven. Now you can see, the problem got resolved. So I have added a parent, and then I have added another dependency. Like this, any number of dependent jar files you cannot add on your project, depending on your requirements. So now, let's go back and run the same project, Maven clean package. Now you will see, if no problem with the Maven configuration, it will slowly. You can see that all downloads are coming from, you see here, all downloads are coming from Maven. You see here, right? These are all different downloads that is required. Maven will take care of it. You don't need to worry about it, how it runs. So once you create a Maven, now you will see the build success. And then let's go and see. Once the build is successful, now you will see, let's go to the Eclipse. So a target folder will be created like this. Once the Maven is built, a target folder will be there. Everything will be, output. Every output from running your Maven clean package will be part of the target folder. Now you see all this. Now let's go back and I'll show you in the terminal. So now I'm going under the target folder. Now you see a lot of stuff is available here. Out of this, this is one. Full stack training 1.0.1.war. This is the name that is created from here. Name is full stack training and 1.1 and package is warfile. So that's the meaning of it. So you can change, you can give any name of your choice. So now I'm removing everything from here. So nothing is there. I mean, every class from this can be removed. Let's do one thing. I'll go to the Explorer folder. I'll remove one shot. OPT. And what is that? Full stack training target. So now I'm deleting everything from here. Now if you come here and see, nothing is there. It's empty. Now go one step back. Because you need to, you can run Maven clean package only wherever pom.xml is available. Maven clean package. I'm running it again. Now, target folder, you will see everything is generated automatically. So each time you do Maven clean means it will clean everything from the target folder and rebuild the whole application. So that's how you can build the application to generate the WAR file. Whatever the WAR file that you generated, this is the file we will deploy on Tomcat application server. Okay, that's how Maven works. Whenever you create a Maven project in Eclipse, you will see folder structure. These are Java resources, that's fine. It's all automatically created. If you carefully look at, you will see two structures here, source, target. Source is whatever you are writing files and everything will go into the source. And pom.xml is meant for adding your dependencies required to execute your project. And if you go into the source file, you will see two folders, main and test. Main is to write your main application functionality. And test folder is to write any unit test cases to make sure your main functionality is working fine. So we are going to do a test-driven development with this project going forward. Okay? So every line that you write in mainline code will be tested and you will write a test case in the test directory. So whenever you execute the project, whenever you're building the project, so now let's say I'm doing the Maven clean package, now you will see it will compile the test cases also. You see here, test cases. So if any of the test case is broken, meaning by making your change, maybe you might break the existing functionality. In case an existing functionality gets breaked, because of you make the current change, the test cases will be broken and then the build will fail. So that's how you can make sure, any of your changes is not impacting existing functionality. That's the purpose of test-driven development. So now let's come into the main and you can see Java, because you given the name full stack training, that's why you see all these different folders here. And, similarly in the test directory also, you will see the similar structure. So now, this is just because we are using Maven. Maven is just by default, it is created like this, but we are, this is not the standard way of creating packaging structure. So now let's go and do new on the Java and saying somewhere Java resources. We don't need to do from here. Go to the Java resources. I mean, this is a Java, way of navigating between the files. This is a Windows way of navigating the files within the Xbox. So now if you look at in the, here source, main, Java, and you see full stack training. So now what we are going to do is new, create a package. I think you all know the basics of core Java. That's why I'm going a little bit faster. So now here I'm saying com. I'm just using for all projects, I'm using prio hire. That's why I'm using the same thing. Com, prio hire. And I'm saying, I know this is the minimum package that I'm started writing. Now, com prio hire is there. And whatever is created with Maven, I'm deleting it. I don't need this. This is all skeletal given by the Maven. Similarly, for the test folders also, same thing I'm going to do it. You don't need to do. We'll come back to the test, upcoming sessions. So now you have com.prio hire. Now inside this, I am starting creating a new class file. So whenever you come for new, and just right click on the package, new, and class or interface, whatever you wanted to create, you can create. For now, I am creating a class file. This, I am creating prio application. Okay, now, so class is created under the package because com.prio hire is our package. That's why you see here package structure. Package structure is, I think you all know basic concepts of core Java and OOPS concepts, right? Can I assume that you all know basic stuff around core Java?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So now I created a prio application. No, I'm basically I'll try to use my application to fasten up the somewhere here. Give me 1 minute, guys. So I just created a class, and then I make because we are using Spring Boot, so you need to give an annotation. @ is nothing but Java annotation. So now whenever I make something like this will become a Spring Boot application entry point to execute your project. So you need to start, whenever you deploy your Warfile and Tomcat, it should start as an entry point. This file will become an entry point to execute your application. Whenever you name this as like this, it will become an entry point. This class will become as an entry point. To execute the entry point, you need, Spring uses public static void main method. Just like in core Java, you already know, right? To execute any file, you need a main method. Now this main method will be used by Spring application to start running whenever you deploy onto the Tomcat. So now this file will become, entry point for your application. Now, I'm going to create another package on top of it, com prio hire, and I'm doing controller. So Spring is, as a Spring framework is built as a model view controller pattern. We'll go eventually, we'll understand eventually what is model view controller with practical examples. So now once you create another package, controller, now I am creating only controller, class. Earlier I created a package, now I'm creating a class. landing controller. I mean, you can name anything, home controller or whatever. These are all, name is of your choice. So now another class is created, controller. Now I'm saying @controller. All we are going to use Java annotations. When we say @controller, automatically this class will become controller, landing controller. Now, I'll copy the code from other source. So I'll explain you how it works. So now what does mean? Whenever you go to the browser and type localhost, because once we deploy on the Tomcat you already know, Tomcat by default runs on the port 8080. Whenever you do, once we deploy the application, when you go here localhost :8080, that means that will come to this point because we did not give any path here. So by default, / means a default path. So this is nothing but something like this. That's taken care by the browser and Spring application. So now it comes here, executes this method, and runs return home. It's a simple string return home. So what is home? So this is nothing but we are going to create a JSP page. So in the web app, let me refresh this folder. Excuse me, guys. So in the web app folder, I am going to create a new folder, JSP, where this folder will hold all JSP pages. JSP pages means nothing but Java server pages. So for our application, we are going to use only one single JSP. So you need to read, a little bit material around JSP, what it is, what the importance of it. It's a new file. So, okay. I can say, no, I don't want to do like this. Let's see. Other, type in JSP, automatically you get JSP file and do home.jsp. So your name should exactly match. Whatever you are giving here, return home, it should match home.jsp. Now here it's a normal HTML. We'll come back to the HTML at a later point of time. So welcome to file. And in the body I'm just giving h1 tag, only one tag. Okay. So now the basic skeletal JSP is created. I just added only one simple HTML h1 label. So now how Spring knows to point to home.jsp in some folder here. I mean, this folder I may change to some XYZ, go over than JSP or something like that. I can do anything like that. So how Spring will map this to home.jsp in JSP folder. To do that, Spring Boot has some concept called resources. So so in the main, we have, okay. Just give me 1 minute, guys. I'll take water and come back. Okay, guys, I'm back. So now how this home will point to the JSP. To do that, what we have to do is, in the source, just like main and, you have the main folder here, right? So we are going to create a new one more folder, resources. So inside the resources, I am going to create a new file. It's a property file. I'm going to create application.property. This is the system bootstrap, Spring Boot standard, file to read the any configuration that you set up. So now you see here I created a resources folder and I have a file application.properties. Then once you do this, let me go and source main resources. Okay. So this is how the JSP configuration happens. So here what I'm trying to do, this is a standard Spring notation. Spring MVC view. What is the view you want to configure? And dot prefix. That means from which folder you want to come. So up to web app, every static resources in a JT application will come from main and web app folder. So this one. Until this, Spring will understand. So inside the web app, from where you wanted to get the JSP files. So I'm giving /JSP. And what is the view prefix? Either you want the HTML or JSP, whatever it is. So for us, we are using JSP. That's why I'm giving .JSP notation. So now, what does this mean? Whenever landing controller says home, something like this, home, so now what it does is, it will go to web app JSP folder, because that's what we set up here, and it will look for a file name home with an extension JSP. That's how home.jsp will be called. Okay, that's the minimum. So now what we did, we set up a Maven project and we set up a basic Spring Boot application setup. So now once all is done, how you can execute all the setup that we did so far. To do that, I just run the Maven clean package. Now you will see, all your sources will be compiled, and we don't have any test cases set up. That's why you did not see any test case execution, and you see Maven build is successful. Once it is successful, you will see automatically all the outsource codes. So here, if you look at in the class, see the structure that these are all the structure we created. Controller, class file will be generated from the Java file. And if you go to the controller, you see all these will be generated. So everything will be bundled into WAR file. So now, for the Spring Boot, you can directly deploy this application on Tomcat. How you can do that? Let's see. I'm going into the target folder where full stack training.war file, and I am copying into our Tomcat installation. You already have the Tomcat installation on your local machine, right? Go to the Tomcat base folder and check for web apps folder. And I'm copying the WAR file onto Tomcat home folder /web apps folder. Copy. Now, let's say I'm going back to the Tomcat and see whether it is copied or not. Now, you see, full stack training WAR file is created here. But the WAR file did not explode. I mean, earlier, if you see your past recruit, WAR file is there and exploded version of WAR file is also here. But in case of full stack, it is not happened. Why? Because Tomcat server is not up and running. Nothing is there. Now, I'm going, how to run the Tomcat? Go to the bin folder. That's where Tomcat bin folder, where you will have all the start, stop, and all these things. So now I'm doing, I'm starting the Tomcat server. So server is started now. Now, if you go to the web apps folder and you see that, now automatically you should see from, where's that? It should come. Wait a minute. It's not generated. It should generate, let's see. Tail manager. I am just checking for the log file what happened. Oh, okay. I guess because of the previous from application deployed there under the same. Let's remove that RM-R. I'm removing the previous, whatever the fast secret deployment, right? So I'll remove that and see. Oh, no, it's already created. I think it took a little bit longer time. You see here, right? So it's already created this file. So I will remove the other one. So fast secret. Okay, now you have both. I'll restart the Tomcat again. So I make sure we have only one warfare sitting there. Okay, this is the log file generated from the Tomcat. So now you see here, now go back to, the application is deployed on the Tomcat. Now you go and look at localhost colon 8080, default port. Now it should show up. No, it did not show up. Why? Why? Oh, it's because of the Spring Boot. Okay. I'll do it in the other way. Spring Boot internally comes with its own Tomcat. You don't need to install a specific Tomcat. To do that, I'm doing other workaround. Ideally, it's supposed to work, but I'll check this later. So, other way of doing this one is also possible. What is this dependencies? Yeah. Dependencies. I'm at develop. Okay. So add these two dependencies. So meaning what we are doing, we are adding JSP support using JSTL and embedded Tomcat for the Tomcat instance. So now I'm adding both into form.xml. So now both are getting added, and then go to you don't need all these to run. COPT full stack. Full stack. So now we're back to the form.xml. So here you can use Spring. What is that command? I do usually automate everything, so I forget the comments. I'm using Dockerizing this project. Yeah, somewhere here. Yeah, this one, Spring Boot run. So once you have the Tomcat is, what is the meaning of this form.xml here, right? I have added. So that means Tomcat server is also part of your Spring Boot application. By doing this, it will be Tomcat server gets added. So now, I'm just adding, running this command, Maven clean package spring-boot run. So what it does is it will execute, it will build the whole project and runs in the Tomcat by default automatic. So now the build is completed, Tomcat server is running up, and then you can see Tomcat is here, 880. So now let's do the same thing and see how it does. So some problem is there. So meaning type not found. Did I do home.page home only, right? Home.jsp only. I'll check this one. I'll stop here and I'll troubleshoot this one. Why it is not pointing. It'll take a little bit of time, I guess. Okay. So go through and I think I already did too much of a feeding. So go through it and I'll correct that one and I'll explain you.